Hello everybody, welcome to the JavaScript course. In this video, I'm going to discuss the way to control a form in JavaScript. First, I would like to tell you the way to obtain a form from a collection of the forms. We can use the forms index or the forms name to do so. And then I'm going to discuss the way to obtain an element from a form. After that, I would like to talk about the back reference of forms. That means when I have an element, I would like to get the form back from that element. Finally, I would like to talk about the way to handle the drop-down lists in a form. Now, let us see the HTML file first. The HTML file has a number of elements this time. First, I have a title here, and then in the body part, I have a heading first, and then I have a very big form, okay? So the whole thing is actually a form. So the form has a number of input boxes, and I have some radio buttons together with their labels. And after that, I have a field set that contains 2 input boxes. And after the input box, I have a drop-down list. So when we take a look at the HTML file, you can see that I have got the input boxes together with the labels for the radio buttons. And then I have a field set to show 2 input boxes inside. And after that, I have a drop-down list like this one. And I have to link my HTML file to the JavaScript file. And the JavaScript file is called myscript.js, which is put in the JS folder, okay? So we can see the hierarchy of the files on the left-hand side. The HTML file is at the same level as the JS folder, and the JS folder contains the JavaScript file, okay? And let us go to the JavaScript file. In order for me to use the strict mode, I have to say use strict on the first line of the JavaScript file. And then let's start our topic for today about the forms. So JavaScript has a way to store the forms in a collection. The notation is document.forms, okay? So we can obtain the form with a given name from this collection. So how can we do so? Let us see the example now. Suppose my form is having a name called some form. So when we want to obtain a form with a given name, I have to specify some form in my notation. Okay, document.forms contains all the forms given in the HTML file, and then when I specify the name of that form, called some form here, I'm able to get the form back. So let us see the result. I save the JavaScript file first, and then I reload the page. Yes, you can see that I can get the form. So the object is a form element, okay? So this is the way to pick up a certain form in an HTML file. And after that, I can tell you the way to specify a form with its index in the collection. So how can we do so? Let us see. Okay, when I say document.forms 0, it means that I want to take the first form from the document.forms collection. Since I have only one form, the index 0 just gives me the only form in the HTML file. So let us see what we will get. Save. Reload. Of course, I can get the form element back. So I can use the name, or I can use the index to specify a form from the document.forms collection, okay? And we can also get the form using its name. So what's the meaning of that? Let us try this example. Okay, I just pick up that particular form in the form of a DOM element. So my form here is saving that DOM element. So it is essentially the same as this command here, but I just save the particular element obtained in another variable called my form, okay? And then we can get the element in a form using the element name. So a form has a lot of elements. You can see that there are so many things in a form. And can we get a certain element from that form? We can do so. So the way is like this. I'm going to demonstrate it to you now. Okay, I want to take a certain input box out. So I can go to my form, which is already stored in the variable here. And then I can use the elements collection to get all the elements contained in that form. And I can use the element name of that element in the form. So when we go back to some text 1, we have this element. So this is an input text with name some text 1, okay? So I can just pick up the first input box on the HTML file and I call it my input box, okay? There is another way to do so. We can use the shorthand form. That means I don't need the word elements when I do the notation. So let us see how I can do it. Okay, you can see in my case now that I don't have the word elements. That means even if I don't include the word elements, that means when I don't ever specify the collection that stores the elements, I can still get the element back from the form. So in this form called my form, I find the name called some text 1. So some text 1 just means the first input box, okay? So essentially these two variables would correspond to the same input box in the HTML file. So we will get the same answers when I manipulate these two variables. So let us see how I can manipulate them. Okay, you can see that I want to print out the type, name, and value of the so-called two input boxes. Since they are the same input box, you would expect that the answers to these two alert windows will be the same. So let us see the result. Save. Reload. So the first alert window shows the content of the my input box element. Text is the type here. Name is some text 1. Value is word 1 here. So how about the second alert window? We can see the same answer because the two alert windows would just print out the value or the content of the same input box in the HTML file, okay? Okay, I would like to address something about the naming issue. If more than one element has the same name, the elements will be stored in a collection. What does it mean by that? When we look at the radio buttons, we can see that the radio buttons have the same name called some radio. So if I just specify the name of a certain element, essentially I can pick up all the 3 radio buttons. So let us see the example about the radio buttons to see how we can get each of the radio buttons. Okay, I would like to store all the radio buttons in a collection called my radio buttons, okay? So this variable has stored the 3 radio buttons with the same name called some radio, okay? I specified the name here and these 3 radio buttons will be stored in this collection. And then when I want to pick up index 1 to get the value, you would expect that I would be able to get the second radio button, and the second radio button has a value of choice 2, which is a string, okay? So you will expect that I will have a string whose content is choice 2. Let us see if it is the case or not. Save. Reload. Yes, you can see choice 2 because this is the second radio button. And this value becomes choice 2 in my case, okay? Number 1 means the second radio button because the index is starting from 0, okay? The next topic is about specifying the elements in the field set. So in my example here, I have a field set. Okay, so the field set has a legend together with 2 text boxes. Okay, And how can I specify the thing in the field set instead of in the form? Let us see. Okay, I can just pick up the field set using its name. Okay, some field set is the name, and from a form I use the elements collection, and then from that collection I can find out the field set with this name. Okay, and I can let it be a certain variable. So this variable stores the particular element, and I can use this element to look into the elements inside the field set. So from the field set, I want to find out some text for. Okay, so I go to the elements collection pertaining to the field set. Okay, and then I find some text for. So the name some text for appears in the first input box. So my text box here just refers to the first input box. Okay. So this is the first way of specifying the elements in the field set. Or we can use the previous notation, like those mentioned before, by not specifying the field set. It means that I can just use the form, and I just treat a field set as being not present. Okay, so I can use the previous notation approach to get the same element. So let me demonstrate it to you now. Before I demonstrate it to you, let me show the content of the text box. Okay. So I want to show the value of the some text for. So you can see the value is word for. Save. Reload. Yes, word for has come out, which is just the value of that particular text box. Okay. Now let me try to demonstrate the other notation to specify the elements in the field set. So I just use the form, okay, and then from that form I find an element with the name called some text for without really specifying the field set that contains the element, and then I can get the value. Okay, so let us see the result. Save. Reload. Yes, you can see I can get a word for back, which is this value. So the value would be the same as the previous result. Okay, so I can just use this approach without specifying the field set name. Okay. And the other topic to discuss is the back reference. What does it mean by this word? It means that we can get back the form to which an element belongs. That means when I have an element, I can find out the form that contains this element. So let us see an example about it. Okay, I can go to my input box, which is just the first input box in my HTML file, and when I locate this element, I can find out the form it belongs to. My input box .form.name. So I want to find out the form it belongs to, and then I want to print out the name of that form. So you would expect that the answer to it is some form. Let us see the result. Save. Reload. Yes, some form has come out. That means when I specify an element, I can use the form property to get back the form it belongs to, and then I can use the form to find out its name. The other topic to discuss is the drop-down list. So for a drop-down list like this one, there are a lot of options. So we have 4 options in this drop-down list. So we have an options collection to really store the options that are contained in the drop-down list. Okay, and we can use the ID to specify the drop-down list. What does it mean by that? I would like to show you an example to use the index to specify a certain option in a certain drop-down list. Now we can go to the HTML file. We can see that we have an ID called SumSelect. Okay, SumSelect refers to a certain drop-down list, and I can just use the ID. So SumSelect dot options. So the options collection is trying to store all the 4 options here. Okay, options 1 means the second option, so I can pick up this option, and the value of it is CSS. So you can expect that the answer to it is CSS. So let me show you the answer. Save. Reload. Yes, CSS has come out. That means I can just pick up the drop-down list, and then I pick up a certain option with its index, and then I can pick up the value of that option. Okay. And the final part of this video is about choosing an option from a drop-down list. So there are actually 3 ways for JavaScript to select a certain option in a drop-down list. So what are the ways? Let me show you now. I can use the selected variable, which is a Boolean variable, to specify which option is chosen. Or I can use the select.value to show the value shown on the drop-down list when the drop-down list is still folded. Or I can use the select.selected index to indicate the index of the selected option. Okay. So how can we use these 3 ways? Let me show you my way now. So the first way is to use the selected property. So when I set it to true, it means that I'm able to set the option with index 1 to be the value shown on the drop-down list. So I would be able to see CSS on the drop-down list. Let us see the result. Save. Reload. Yes, you can see that CSS has come out as the choice already selected by JavaScript. This is one way. So let me show you another way. So I want to pick up the element using its ID, and then I say some selected index equals 3. So I'm going to pick up the 4th option. So you will see TypeScript will come out on the drop-down list. Let us see. Save. Reload. Yes, you can see TypeScript has come out, which is the 4th option. Okay. So I can use the value to specify the value that I'm going to choose by using JavaScript. So the value is JavaScript here. That means I want to pick up the 3rd option, whose value is just JavaScript. Okay. Save. Reload. Yes, you can see that JavaScript has come out on the drop-down list. So we can see that there are 3 ways to pick up a certain option by using JavaScript. You can use the selected value, or the value, or the selected index value. Okay. So this video has already talked about so many ways to control the content of a form. We can pick up the form by using the document.forms collection. We can specify a certain form in that collection with a name or with the index. Or we can just get a certain element in the form using the element name. Or we can just use a collection of the elements, and then we can pick up a certain element in a given collection of the elements, like the radio buttons example here. Okay. And then we can really specify the elements in the field set. Or we can use the ordinary notation to specify the element in the field set. We also discussed the back reference property, which means I can pick up the form that belongs to a certain given element. Okay. And then we can control the drop-down list by storing the options contained in that drop-down list first. And then I can also use the ID of the drop-down list to specify the whole drop-down list. If we want to control the value in the drop-down list, we have 3 ways. We can use the selected Boolean variable, or the value, or the selected index property. This is the end of the video. If you have any questions about my video, please leave your questions on the comment section below the video. If you like this video, please give me a like and please subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching.